My goodness. Okay, we're back. We're back. I just did one of those things that people do when they start recording podcasts and filming stuff. Is that I wasn't filming this at all. I only filmed like the first 15 minutes. I went on for like another 10 or more minutes after that. And I looked at it and went, it didn't record any of that last part. And the funny part is the last part is where I really got into things. So I did set up my timer again. This is probably going to be a little shorter one. Hello, we're back. Doing this over again, it feels very strange. I just talked for 20, 30 minutes straight. I don't know. And we're doing it again. Episode 3. Check that out. I'm not going to tell you what's in here like I did last time. There's no last time for you. This is your first time because this is your first time seeing episode 3. I'm not going to tell you what's in there. It could be anything. Okay, fine. I'm not going to wait no, actually, I'm going to keep it towards close to the end because I couldn't even wait the last time I recorded this. Anyways, I'm going to stop talking about something that you don't know about. Trying to see if that's recording too. Okay, thank goodness that's recording. Things are going interesting, but that's okay. That's what we signed up for. I think what I realize is that I'm not going to put a season. It's just going to be episodes because I don't know when I could distinguish when the next season would be. So ignore the first 2. Do a little bit of updates. I'm starting to I realize that there's been some time in between, that a little too much time. I've been trying to come up with every excuse under the sun because this is as cool as it's been, it's kind of scary trying to be talking and stuff. I don't do that. I thought I was somebody who couldn't do that, when I'm realizing that I could do anything. I just got to do it. So yeah, this is the Both Sides of the Coin podcast. I'm Nicole. I guess I should introduce myself. It happened. Part of this too is in recognition that I want to slow down because I'm starting to be this, that, and the other, all these filler words and stuff. And I took a public speaking class and I'm trying to implement some of that. So if I'm just starting to slow down, it's me trying not to hit the brakes. So, yeah, as for little updates, I've recently got into running, like everybody else has. But no, seriously, I was just trying to look for something a little bit different than weightlifting. So, I run now for my problems, and it's awesome. It's nice because now with weightlifting, I can do that 5 times a week and then run the other days, and also I stack it up and stuff like that. Sorry, I keep looking around because it's sunny outside, and the last couple times I've recorded this at night, but I didn't want to record it last night. And I'm okay, then I have to record it tomorrow, and tomorrow is today, and today is Sunday, and then tomorrow's going to be Monday, and not trying to get too into the Sunday scaries because they can be scary, but yeah, running, finishing up a song that's going to come out pretty soon. And we're going to talk a little bit about synchronicity, is what I think this episode is going to kind of revolve around. Wrote this song about some people that relationships that were ending and stuff. And I ran into somebody that I kind of, kind of inspired that song a little bit. And I'm being when you see somebody you haven't seen in 3-4 years and you're just wow, the time has gone by. It's being a person and living your little life is pretty crazy when you really think about it, because nothing really ends. It just kind of goes in the circle. And I'm not I didn't try to overly extend either. I kind of was just okay, hi. And then I just kept walking, and I think there's ways that you think you're going to handle something, and kind of happy with how I handled it, because the things don't really have to be as big as we make them. A lot of it lives if we lived most of our life is lived in a figurative kind of landscape of being thinking how you think things are going to happen versus what's actually going to happen. And it's not good nor bad. It's just like good and bad are just matters of opinion. So it's been interesting. Yeah. Just given the fact that I wrote this song like a year or so ago and then like really started producing it as of the last like few months and like kind of crazy because I'm going to put out hopefully this month. Hopefully this month. Being an artist is really crazy because you're kind of just like you're doing everything, you know. But I'm a Gemini rising, so maybe I should be doing everything. it's it's both freeing and it's also incredibly daunting, the amount of options, you know. But I also think, like I said with synchronicity, like I'm using a tripod that my friend bought me without even asking whether or not I wanted one, and I was like, I need one. So like that's pretty crazy that you just sent me one. I don't even know if it was for my birthday. I don't know. Maybe it might have been for my birthday or something, or it might have just been random. And I was enough for me to be like, okay. Like anytime I've like needed something, like even that monitor I keep glancing up at, I like literally drove by a garage sale with like $10 in my pocket and pocketed that like thing right there. Hold on, let's try that again. I think I actually talk better when after I've smoked because now I'm just like in a circle, and I leave my microdose today, of course, and yeah, we're gonna talk about synchronicity because I don't think it's not it doesn't it's not the way I want to talk about it is not in a way that I don't think is commonly described. I'm not doing it in a way of ooh look how cool I am, but it's like I don't know. I don't think things are that in our own will, you know. So it reminds me of another book, like I'm the queen of starting books and not ever finishing them. So one of those books being a Carl Jung book on synchronicity. And it is a harder book to like start off with because he kind of like, he's talking on a scientific approach for a little bit, but it's okay. I can try better to pay attention. And it's, I don't think the way the spiritual community or wherever you want to talk about it, like the way we feel about synchronicity is almost as if like you're creating it, you have to seek it out, you have to this and that. I don't think it's something like that because I was also listening to an Alan Watts talk like on my walk, and I think that's what inspired this conversation, partly because it's another synchronicity. I was kind of just asking like, okay, what do I talk about? And I was like, something that's just been on my mind. And I don't think you don't have to seek it out. It's something that is brought to your awareness, you know, because it's constantly happening. Like things are constantly moving. Even like it's not necessarily a time thing, it's just a movement thing. I don't know how else to describe it. But kind of just let things happen. Like I run into people, I think about people, I run into them, I think about them, they call me, I go somewhere, I run into them. I need something, I've given it, you know, and sometimes I feel inclined to do that to somebody else where I'm like, okay, well, I don't know why I want to give this person $5 or like, I don't know why I want to ask them this question. And it's been interesting, you know? So I think it's just continuously walking a path of what you can perceive constantly happening, which is kind of overwhelming too, because then you start kind of getting into like thinking like you're missing out on something when you're really not. Because the problem is the thinking. The thinking gets in the way of the feeling when these things are things you need to feel your way through. And that's crazy for me to say, given I'm going to start just sprinkling in my zodiac, like the rest of my chart and stuff, and being like a Capricorn rising. I don't have time for my fucking feelings. I don't have time. Look at my feelings as a pile of stuff in the corner, and I go, I don't have time for that. Until one day you have to make time for that. And it's just, it's wild. It's pretty crazy. That's why I'm like trying to document this too, because I'm doing this for me, you know, no matter what happens next. This is the version of myself right this moment, right now. Okay, fine. It's almost done. It's I need to start like finishing drinking this because it's like getting closer in the afternoon. And I said no more coffee in the afternoon, but whatever. It's a banana bread latte. Isn't that crazy? I I'm not really somebody who like goes deep into the latte realm, but I really wanted like something like foamy coconut. It's coconut milk and it's banana bread. Isn't that crazy? It's I got it half sweet because I constantly say I want things half sweet, but now it's just like a whisper of banana bread. Because I have a hard time like drinking my calories. I'm like, why would I do that? That sounds really dumb. Anyways, there's a reason why this got both sides of the coin. It's because I'm gonna kind of flip flop a little bit. My Gemini rising, so I'm gonna continue to keep doing that. Being curious. I think I'm just driven by curiosity of what's gonna happen next. That's the only thing that's really like, keeping me tuned in to any of this, you know? Like, some of it has been in my own will, the path that I'm going down and where I'm gonna go next, I guess, is. But it all started out with just curiosity, and all the people that came along the way are kind of just, you know, just happened to in the situations, and like being in the same apartment for like 5 years, given that like the person I moved here with was somebody I didn't talk to anymore, and same thing with the person who helped me find this apartment. So it's just, I'm trying to say that like synchronicity is not like, it's like constantly around, you know. I can feel myself in moments like trying to seek out patterns, you know, just for the sake of it, to like prove myself that I can. But that doesn't even help either, because like I can just go outside and just find the things that they kind of find me. Doesn't mean you need to be passive. I think it really does require attention. And if, let's say I'm like looking at something, like I have to put my focus on it, you know? So you just got to focus on things. And that's the thing too, is I got to bring up, is that I'm officially kind of going into my Saturn return, which is pretty crazy to say out loud. My first Saturn return. And Saturn's in Aries, and it's all the people born in like I think 96 into 99 or 97 to 99, something like that. I'm not born in 98. And looking at my birth chart, my Saturn is in Aries in the 11th house, which, you know, it sounds like a lot of blah 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 blah, but I feel it. 27 feels different, but I'm really just gonna surrender into anything, because yeah, weird stuff has been happening, but it only feels weird if I feel like it's supposed to be something else, you know? And so now I've just been like, okay, what's next? Okay, this is now. What if it's only like this for now, you know? Not trying to sound wishy-washy when I say that, but like I honestly mean it, you know? It just felt trippy seeing somebody that I haven't seen in a while, because I didn't even entertain it that much. I just kind of waved, you know. I think I smiled and waved, like, you know, like the penguins in Madagascar. Smile and wave, boys, smile and wave. But it felt good. And it also felt kind of good for me, feeling like, you know, things are very different now. And it can feel like that with a lot of people, you know. You can kind of like, you think they are the way that they are, but they're really not. And that other person can think it's the way that they think it is, and it's just not either. And it kind of is, because it's what you choose to believe it, but everything's kind of true and false, if that makes sense. But synchronicity is, I was listening to Alan Watts describe it as like, you're not really surprised by it happening when it's music, because it's just rhythm. So that's, life has this like rhythm to it. So, but you get surprised when something happens to you, because you're just like, you feel this need to like, I'm going to extend from it now. What I think is like, you just constantly need to find a way to identify with things. And it's not always necessary, you know, that's just the tug of war of being a human. But yeah, we're going to leave it at that. I'm a little afraid that like this isn't recording. If this is cut off, I'm just going to go ahead and post it anyways. But yeah, here's to synchronicities. and here's to what's next. So yeah, I'm gonna just suggest maybe try, if you gotten this far, go get yourself a banana bread latte, half sweet with coconut milk, and just be curious about what happens next. And if you're seeing this, maybe it's its own synchronicity, you know? So yeah, thank you for listening. Both Sides of the Coin podcast. Thank you. Thank you.